Imagine this. You wake up one morning feeling unstoppable. You've got your goals written down, your coffee in hand, and you're telling yourself, this is it. This time, I'm going to stick to my plan. But then, life happens. The meeting runs late. The traffic is worse than expected. A friend calls you out of the blue. Suddenly, the time you reserve for your workout, your side project, or even just that moment of reflection disappears. Sound familiar? You're not lazy, you're not broken. You don't lack discipline. What's really happening is this. Your brain is being ambushed by real-world unpredictability. And here's the good news. There's a scientifically backed strategy that can help you win every single time life throws a curveball. It's called if-then planning. In this video, I'll walk you through how to use if-then planning to bulletproof your goals, overcome setbacks, and finally stay consistent. Whether you're aiming for better health, building a business, or simply becoming the best version of yourself. And let me say this up front. This isn't just theory. Psychologists have studied this method for decades. People who use if-then planning are 2 to 3 times more likely to follow through with their goals compared to those who don't. So if you've ever wondered why your motivation fades, why willpower feels unreliable, or why you start strong but struggle to finish, this video is for you. Before we dive in, if you're on a journey to become your strongest, most focused self, you're in the right place. Consider subscribing so you never miss a step forward. Now let's break down exactly what if-then planning is, why it works, and how you can use it starting today. The psychology behind if-then planning. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is if-then planning? At its core, if-then planning is a simple formula. If situation, then I will behavior. Example, if it's 7 a.m., then I will put on my running shoes and step outside. If someone offers me dessert at a restaurant, then I will choose fruit instead. If I feel stressed after work, then I will spend 5 minutes doing deep breathing before I eat dinner. Sounds simple, right? Almost too simple. But here's the thing, simplicity is what makes it powerful. Why it works. The science comes from something called implementation intentions. Researcher Peter Gollwitzer coined this concept in the 1990s. He discovered that people who made specific if-then plans were far more likely to follow through. Why? Because the human brain loves shortcuts. When you set up an if-then plan, you're essentially preloading a mental script. Instead of wasting energy in the moment, asking yourself, should I? Shouldn't I? Your brain already knows what to do. Think of it like programming your mind. The if is your trigger, and the then is your automatic response. It takes decision-making out of the equation. And that's huge because willpower is like a battery. Every decision you make drains it. But if-then planning removes that burden, you're no longer negotiating with yourself. You're following a script. Let me give you a real-life example. I used to struggle with late-night snacking. I'd tell myself, tonight I won't eat anything after dinner. But then 10 p.m. rolled around, Netflix was on, and there I was with a bowl of chips. It wasn't that I didn't want my goal. It was that I hadn't planned for the trigger. Once I set an if-then plan, if I feel like snacking at night, then I will make a cup of tea instead. Everything changed. The craving still showed up, but now I had a script ready to go. No arguing with myself, no guilt spiral, just a new habit forming. And here's the kicker. Research shows that if-then planning works across almost every area of life. Fitness, productivity, relationships, even managing emotions. Studies show that students who used if-then planning were far more likely to study consistently before exams. People trying to quit smoking were more successful when they had if-then strategies for cravings. Even patients recovering from surgery healed faster when they set if-then goals for their rehab exercises. So the evidence is clear. If-then planning isn't just motivational fluff, it's science-backed and proven. The common struggles with goal setting. Now let's zoom out for a moment. Why do we even need this? Why do so many of us fail at sticking to goals, even when we're motivated? There are 3 big reasons. 1. Motivation fades. At the start of a goal, excitement is high. You buy the new planner, the gym membership, the fresh journal, but by week 3, the energy dips. That's normal. Motivation is a spark, not a steady fuel. 2. Life is unpredictable. No matter how well we plan, life throws curveballs. Work emergencies, family responsibilities, bad weather. Your routine gets disrupted and suddenly the goal is on the back burner. 3. We rely too much on willpower. Willpower is like holding your breath underwater. It works for a while, but you can't depend on it forever. When stress hits, willpower is usually the first to go. This is where if-then planning comes in. It's like building a bridge between your intention and your action. Even when motivation dips, even when life throws surprises, even when willpower feels weak, your if-then plan carries you through. Think of it as bulletproofing your goals. Quick check-in. If this is resonating with you so far, hit that like button so YouTube knows to show you more content that fuels your mindset. How to create your own if-then plans. All right, now let's get practical. How do you actually build an if-then plan that works? There are 4 key steps. Step 1, identify your goal. Start by getting specific. Don't just say, I want to be healthier. That's too vague. Instead, I want to exercise 3 times a week, or I want to cut back on sugar. Clarity is the foundation. Step 2, spot the triggers. This is where self-awareness comes in. Ask yourself, when do I usually struggle? What situations throw me off? Examples. You skip workouts when meetings run late. You snack when you're stressed. You procrastinate when you feel overwhelmed. These are your if moments. Step 3, create the response. Now decide your then. What action will you take? It should be clear, realistic, and immediate. Examples. If my meeting runs late, then I will do a 15-minute home workout instead of skipping entirely. If I crave junk food, then I will grab fruit or a protein bar. If I feel overwhelmed, then I will spend 5 minutes organizing my to-do list. Notice how each response is specific and doable. Step 4, practice and adjust. Here's the truth. Your first if-then plan might not be perfect. That's okay. Think of it like a science experiment. Try it, track it, and adjust if needed. Example, if tea doesn't curb your late-night cravings, maybe your then becomes brushing your teeth right after dinner. The key is to keep testing until you find the response that works. Real-life applications. Now let's make this even more powerful. Let's go through some areas of life where you can use if-then planning today. Fitness. If it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 6 p.m., then I will go for a run. If it's raining, then I will do a workout video at home instead. If I don't feel motivated, then I will put on my workout clothes and commit to just 5 minutes. Nutrition. If I eat out, then I will start with a salad. If I crave dessert, then I will have fruit first. If I feel like skipping breakfast, then I will grab a quick smoothie. Productivity. If I check my phone in the morning, then I will only do it after finishing my top 3 tasks. If I feel like procrastinating, then I will use the 2-minute rule. Start the task for just 2 minutes. If I get distracted, then I will put my phone in another room. Stress management. If I feel overwhelmed, then I will take 5 deep breaths. If someone upsets me, then I will pause before responding. If I notice negative self-talk, then I will replace it with one empowering thought. Relationships. If my partner says something that annoys me, then I will ask for clarification before reacting. If I get home from work, then I will put my phone away for the first 30 minutes to connect. If I feel disconnected, then I will plan a small act of kindness. Notice how these aren't grand gestures. They're micro-commitments. That's the magic. Small if-then habits stack up into massive change over time. Overcoming setbacks with if-then planning. Here's the truth. No plan is perfect. You will stumble. You will miss days. You will fall back into old patterns. But if-then planning even covers that. You can create failure recovery plans. For example, if I miss a workout, then I will not miss the next one. If I eat junk food, then my next meal will be healthy. If I procrastinate today, then I will restart tomorrow with my top priority. This prevents the all-or-nothing trap. Instead of saying, I messed up so I failed, you say, I have a plan for bouncing back. That shift alone can save months, even years of progress. So let's bring it all together. If-then planning is about more than productivity hacks. It's about building a system that supports you when life gets messy, when motivation dips, when willpower runs out. Remember, if, then trigger, plus response. It works because it pre-programs your brain. You can apply it to fitness, nutrition, productivity, stress, and relationships. You can even use it for bouncing back from failure. And here's your challenge for today. Write down one if-then plan for a goal you care about. Just one. Put it on a sticky note in your phone, wherever you'll see it, then live it out this week. Because here's the truth. Success doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from tiny, consistent steps forward. And if-then planning makes those steps automatic. Now, if this video gave you value, here's what I'd love for you to do. Hit that like button so YouTube knows to share this with others who need it. Subscribe so you never miss strategies to fuel your growth. And drop a comment sharing your if-then plan. I'd love to hear what you're committing to. Remember, you are capable of more than you think. Life won't always be easy, but with the right mindset and the right tools, you can bulletproof your goals. And if-then planning, that's one of the sharpest tools you'll ever carry. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and keep moving forward.